This is another video which was suggested to us by one of our subscribers, and it's one which we had to mull over for a while. The Ballon d'Or was created in 1956 and was exclusive to European players up until 1995. As such, some of the greatest players in the history of the game have never won the award by virtue of playing before 1956 or not being European. So we decided this seven should only be made up of great players who were eligible to win the award, but still never did. That means no Pelé, no Maradona, and no Matthias Schindler. Here are our 7 greatest players to never win the Ballon d'Or. Andres Iniesta. Who's better, Andres Iniesta or Xavi? It's like saying, who's better between HITC Sevens and the Beatles? They're both brilliant and it's near enough impossible to split the two. But we have to come up with the top 7, so Iniesta just gets the nod over Xavi, as well as a handful of other brilliant players who will be mentioned later on. Iniesta himself has come close to winning the Ballon d'Or on a couple of occasions, finishing second to Lionel Messi in 2010 and third behind Messi and Ronaldo in 2012. The dominance of those two has made the Ballon d'Or virtually impossible for an outsider to win over the last decade, but no one's deserved one more than Andres Iniesta. Described by Vicente Del Bosque as the complete footballer, Iniesta is versatile, intelligent and fantastic on the ball. Paolo Maldini. It's easy to see why Paolo Maldini never won a Ballon d'Or. The AC Milan legend was consistently excellent for a quarter of a century, but never the best player on the planet in a calendar year, which is the requirement to have one's name etched into the Ballon d'Or. Maldini came closest in 1994, a year in which he won Serie A, the Champions League, the Super Cup, and reached the final of a World Cup. He came third that year, trailing Roberto Baggio and Hristo Stoichkov. Ferenc Rijkaard. In both 1988 and 1989, the Ballon d'Or top 3 all played for AC Milan. In both years, Ferenc Rijkaard came third, and Marco van Basten won both. The engine room was one of the greatest sides to ever take to the field. Rijkaard was quick, strong, and blessed with fantastic technique. One of the finest defensive midfielders of all time, Rijkaard enjoyed enormous success at both Ajax and AC Milan, winning 7 league titles and 3 Champions Leagues. Michael Laudrup. Luis Figo, Romario and Raul all described him as the greatest player they ever played with. Franz Beckenbauer called him the greatest player of the 1990s, and Andres Iniesta called him the greatest player of all time. High praise indeed, yet Michael Laudrup never won a Ballon d'Or. In fact, he never even made the top 3 of Ballon d'Or voting. Pep Guardiola is quoted as saying, "The Ballon d'Or is worth nothing because Michael Laudrup never won it." The former Juventus, Barcelona and Real Madrid midfielder came 5th in 1985, 5th in 1993, 10th in 1995 and so on. A wonderfully skillful and creative player, Laudrup is now managing in Qatar. Bobby Moore. Defenders deserve some love, and they often don't get it from the Ballon d'Or voters, so we're making amends with this 7. Bobby Moore is a man who requires little introduction. England's captain for their 1966 World Cup triumph, the former West Ham and Fulham defender is widely regarded as one of the finest centre-halves to ever play the game. An excellent reader of the game who was comfortable on the ball, Pelé called him the best defender he ever played against, and Franz Beckenbauer called him the greatest defender of all time. Moore came second in Ballon d'Or voting to Gerd Müller in 1970. John Charles. As the years pass by, the appreciation of John Charles is in danger of slipping away. The gentle giant, as the Italians nicknamed him, was an outstanding all-round footballer. The Welsh international played his best football at Leeds United and Juventus. Charles was of large stature. He was strong but quick, brilliant in the air but classy on the ball, and he had a fantastic temperament. The best player on the pitch, whether he was deployed at centre-half or as a centre-forward, Bobby Robson called him the greatest player of all time. Charles came third in the 1959 Ballon d'Or, trailing Alfredo Di Stefano and Raymond Kopa. Ferenc Puskas. A tubby little centre-forward with a poor weak foot who wasn't great in the air, Ferenc Puskas doesn't exactly sound like the blueprint for great centre-forwards, yet he is comfortably among the finest players to ever take to the field. The man they called the Galloping Major was banned from football by UEFA and missed more than 2 years of his best football. Yet he played on at Real Madrid until the age of 39, ending his career with 622 goals in 629 games at club level and 84 goals in 85 games for Hungary. A player of extraordinary intelligence and technique, Puskas also had a ferocious shot which packed power and accuracy, leaving goalkeepers mere bystanders to his brilliance. The star of the magical Maguires, Puskas somehow never won the Ballon d'Or, coming 4th in 1956, 2nd in 1960 and 5th in 1961. So that's it for our top 7. Very honourable mentions go to the following: Andrea Pirlo, Thierry Henry, Xavi, Franco Baresi, Johan Neeskens, Kenny Dalglish, Dino Zoff, Gianluigi Buffon, Yui Seeler and Gordon Banks. Thanks for watching, let us know your top 7s in the comments, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to HITC Sevens.